В Бостоне Михоэлс работал с переводчиком, молодой девушкой. Я с удовольствием вам представляю нашего гостя из Нью-Йорка. Библиолога, композитора, искусствоведа Леонарда Лермана. Его мама была переводчицей Михоэлса в Бостоне. И ее звали Эмили Розенштайн.
Mr. Lehrman, I'm your translator. My name is Emily Rosenstein. You may start now.
Спасибо. Shalom Aleichem. I've been asked to tell you what Michoels was like, what it was like hearing him speak, experiencing audiences' reaction, working with him on stage and behind the scenes, traveling around Boston and Cambridge with him and translating for him.
Меня попросили рассказать вам, каким был Михоэлс на сцене и за ней, в Бостоне и в Кембридже.
I wish I could tell you all this firsthand, but I wasn't born until a year and a half after his death. My mother, Emily Rosenstein, later Lehrman, could have told you, in Russian or in English, having been born in Samara and emigrated here to Boston from Leningrad in 1935 at the age of 12.
Не могу, потому что я родился через 1,5 года после его смерти. Моя мама могла бы рассказать вам об этом и по-английски, и по-русски.
My mother died 3.5 years ago, the same day as Michoels, January 13th, only 67 years later. So all I can tell you is what I remember her telling me, and what I've been able to piece together from the numerous documents she saved and preserved regarding the visit to Boston of Michoels with the poet Itzhak Pfeffer in July 1943.
Моя мама умерла 13 января, в тот же день, что и Михоэлс, только через 67 лет. Мама сохранила документы о визите Михоэлса в Бостон с поэтом Ицхаком Пфеффером в июле 1943 года.
Michoels was about an inch shorter than my mother, who was 5'3" tall. Pfeffer was about 2 inches taller than she. The two men spoke Yiddish together, which my mother was used to hearing and understanding. Her mother and stepfather spoke it, but she never spoke Yiddish. Having studied German as well, she feared she might embarrass herself by saying something in one language, thinking it was in the other.
Михоэлс и Пфеффер говорили между собой на идиш. Мама на идиш не говорила. Она боялась перепутать и сказать что-то на немецком.
To my mother, both Michoels and Pfeffer spoke Russian. Beautiful, vivid, joyful, but determined Russian. And she translated, not only for Michoels, but also for Soviet Consul General Yevgeny Kiselyov, who flew up to Boston for the occasion, attended by 2,500 people at Symphony Hall, July 18th, 1943.
С моей мамой и Михоэлс, и Пфеффер говорили красиво, живо, весело и решительно по-русски. Мама переводила и для Михоэлса, и для советского консула Евгения Киселева в Symphony Hall 18 июля 1943 года.
Michoels' words, translated by my mother, ring more truly than ever today, calling for a death blow to anti-Semitism in the anti-fascist struggle. The fate of the Jewish people of the world will be determined ultimately by the extent to which Jewish unity everywhere is achieved. Upon us lies the responsibility. Together and only together shall we achieve victory.
Слова Михоэлса, переведенные моей мамой, звучат особенно сильно сегодня, призывая нанести смертельный удар по антисемитизму в антифашистской борьбе. Судьба еврейского народа во всем мире будет определяться в конечном свете тем, насколько сильно будет еврейская единость. На нас лежит ответственность. Вместе и только вместе можем мы добиться победы.
The next day, July 19th, 1943, Emily accompanied Michoels and Pfeffer on visits to the Boston Public Library and Harvard, the portrait of John Reed at Adams House, the statue of John Harvard in the yard. You just saw the photo of them there. And the office of the leading expert on Soviet drama, H.W.L. Dana, grandson of the poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow and grandson of the author Richard Henry Dana, at Radcliffe's Longfellow House, where Emily would later work as Dana's secretary.
На следующий день, 19 июля, Эмилия сопровождала Михоэлса и Пфеффера в Бостонскую библиотеку и в Гарвард. Они посетили офис H.W.L. Dana, внука поэта Henry Wadsworth Longfellow Dana и писателя Richard Henry Dana. Позже Эмилия будет работать секретарем Dana.
Later still, as a graduate student at Columbia, Emily would serve as secretary to Ernest J. Simmons, the famous Slavicist and author of books on Chekhov, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, and Pushkin, who told Professor Thomas Bird decades later that my mother could have taught his course as well as he did.
А потом она будет ответственным секретарем Эрнеста Симмонса, автора книг о Чехове, Толстом, Достоевском и Пушкине. Много лет спустя Симмон сказал, что она могла бы преподавать его курс.
At Copley Plaza, July 19th, 1943, Michoels delivered an extemporaneous speech, which Emily wrote that she translated, quote, a few sentences at a time, writing down his words in English, and then typing my translation at home, unquote.
At Copley Plaza 19 июля в 1943 году Михоэлс дал прекрасные слова, которые Эмилия переводила. Thank you.
Пожалуйста.
Да.
Michoels then sat on the sofa for a photo, this photo, with my mother and three other young women, the beautiful Bogach sisters, Olga and Dolly, and in the middle, Rita Hamill, now Rita Pollack, who at 94 is still alive and well and living in Swampscott. I met her and her son Rick today for the first time. Thank you. Rita was Emily's assistant. Olga and Dolly were part of the Russian dance group Emily helped organize. They all worked tirelessly for Russian war relief.
Потом Михоэлс сфотографировался с Эмилией, двумя сестрами, Ольгой и Долли Богач, и с помощницей Эмилии, Ритой Гаммер. Теперь она Рита Поляк. Ей 94 года, и она живет в Свамскоте. Сегодня я встретился с ней и с ее сыном Риком в первый раз.
This photo of Michoels with the four young women appeared in at least two newspapers. The Globe, with the headline, Professor Michoels reads contest scripts, and the Revere Journal, where Rita was a columnist, with the probably more accurate headline, "Looking Over Contest Scripts." I say more accurate because Michoels spoke no English, and none of the other women spoke Russian. All of them are smiling or laughing, but Emily's eyes are fixed on the page from which she is reading, and presumably translating either into English for them or into Russian for him.
Эта фотография была напечатана в «Глобусе» и в журнале Revere Journal.
Все понятно, да? Хорошо. The scripts she was reading were part of a contest that was to be judged by the American cartoonist, humorist Al Capp and others for a skit to be performed as a benefit for the junior division of Russian War Relief, of which Emily was executive director. Suggested subjects included letters of encouragement, which are featured in the Soviet film Frontovые подруги. That film played in Boston in January 1942 under the title "The Girl from Leningrad."
Эмилия переводила сценарии коротких скетчей для общества военной помощи России. Тему взяли из советского фильма 1940 года «Фронтовые подруги», который шел в Бостоне в январе 1942 года под названием «Девушка из Ленинграда».
The Girl from Leningrad was what... Девушка, да. The Girl from Leningrad, it's only in English this time. The Girl from Leningrad was what Emily was called whenever she spoke on behalf of Russian War Relief, as she did many times throughout New England. And that's the woman my father first met when she was the featured speaker at a Valentine's Day dance in Boston, Friday the 13th, 1942. He immediately fell in love with her and married her June 18th, 1944.
Девушка из Ленинграда. Так называли мою маму, Эмилию Розенштейн. Прямо как меня. Мой отец впервые встретил девушку из Ленинграда в пятницу 13 февраля 1942 года и был ею сражен.
The Friday the 13th was always lucky in our family. And he married her 12 days after D-Day, the day she became an American citizen. Which is why I'm here today.
И вот поэтому я здесь сегодня.
Tomorrow, my wife Helene Williams and I will celebrate my mother and Michoels, as well as a song called the Victory Jive, which we discovered, thanks to her archives, written to benefit Russian War Relief by the then little-known Lenny Bernstein, as an assistant to Dr. Serge Kusovitsky. We will perform this and a number of other things, including a portion of a King Lear opera by Sergei Slonimsky, at Center Makor in Brookline at 7 p.m. Please, please come if you can. Thank you.